So hello, vinyl community, Bill here again. And congratulations to Randy Nelson, who has now got over 220 subscribers. And I want to take part in his Let's Travel contest to celebrate him exceeding the 200 subs. And yeah, I think I've got a bit of a psychedelic shirt going on there. Never mind. So, 3 prompts and to do with travel and hometowns and artists from hometown. So I'm from the northeast of Scotland and a city called Aberdeen. And I'll drop some photos of Aberdeen and surrounding areas, a castle called Dunnottar Castle at various parts of this video. So Aberdeen is also the birthplace of Annie Lennox, and got 2 albums here by Annie, and she's a fellow Aberdonian, and she was in a band called the Tourists. And then I think she was teamed up with Dave Stewart at that point, but then they became mega stars with the Eurythmics. And then Annie went on to have a fantastic solo career. I must pick up a copy of her album Diva before too long, because I think she does a fantastic version of Whiter Shade of Pale on that. So that's the main sort of person from Aberdeen. But we, for Slambo's benefit, Slambo likes comedy records. Aberdeen is also home to Scotland the What. These 3 guys were lawyers, but they liked the limelight as well, so they would often perform at His Majesty's Theatre in Aberdeen. And they did, the guy here, he's a pianist, and the other 2, Buff Hardy and Stephen Robertson, they were great comedians. They used to do sketches. And one of them was, I think a famous one was about trying to find somebody to open the old Meldrum Games. So the sketch involved, I think it was Buff Hardy, phoning up Buckingham Palace to see if the Queen would open the games, the Highland Games at old Meldrum. And that went, sound effects of the phone ringing, and Buff would say, "Who's that I'm talking to?" "Oh, it's you, Anne." "Is it? It's you, Anne. Well, is your mum in?" And "Oh, she's hoovering at the moment. Maybe you could ask her if she'd come to the phone." And then they would pretend that they were speaking to the Queen and asking if she was available to come and open the old Meldrum Games. So that's Scotland of What. I think we could move on now to songs about your hometown or your home area. Well, the Scotland of What team, they did a song, I'm not sure if it's called City Folk, but it mentions city folk and kitty folk. So kitty folk is folk from Kitty Brewster. And then we have an area called Foot D. I'll show some cottages from Foot D, or as we call it, Fitty. And Foot D or Fitty also features in the song, which also references Constitution Street and Rubsla Den, as well as various other parts of the city of Aberdeen. Now, songs about Aberdeen, none other than Mr. Bob Dylan in his his song Highlands, which is the last track of Time Out of Mind, mentions bluebells blazing where the Aberdeen waters flow. So I think that was maybe after a visit to Aberdeen. He's played Aberdeen a couple of times, and I've been lucky enough to see him in concert in Aberdeen. And some other claims to fame, I'll show the adverts, but the Beatles played the Beach Ballroom in Aberdeen on the 6th of January 1963. And they also played Elgin, which is, oh, I don't know, about 60, 70 miles from Aberdeen. So just as they were about to hit, you know, worldwide fame and Beatlemania to take hold, they played a short concert tour of Scotland, or the northeast of Scotland. I think they went as far as Dingwall as well. So that was January 63. And one of the other musical claims to fame is that the Douglas Hotel in Aberdeen was where Elvis Costello first promoted his shocking country album, Almost Blue, and the single, A Good Year for the Roses. So that was first unleashed on the public in Aberdeen in, oh, I'm not sure. Can't remember the exact date, but, and there is a song called Aberdeen, Mississippi Blues by Booker White, but I guess in the title, if it said Aberdeen, Scotland Blues, we would have been on for a sure thing, but I think there might be a place in the state of Mississippi called Aberdeen, just as there's an Aberdeen in Hong Kong as well. So that's it for my hometown, and I hope you enjoy looking at some of the photos of Aberdeen. And then finally, Randy wants us to show albums that feature the name of a place that you'd like to visit. So I've been lucky enough to visit Florida and California, and also Chicago, Illinois, where we visited the Chess Recording Studios, fantastic. And yeah, live blues music in Chicago is the King Solomon's Mines, I think, is the blues club we went to. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, really great. So where I haven't been is to the sort of Mississippi Delta and the great music cities. So at some point in the not too distant future, when it's safe to go, I'd like to do a road trip and go to New Orleans, and not the Hoople reference, it will be all the way from Memphis. So I'd like to go to Memphis, and we've got Dusty Springfield's Dusty in Memphis. So that's a great album. And I'd also like to go to Nashville, but anywhere around the Mississippi Delta where we can visit Clarksdale and all the museums to the Delta blues singers. And then, of course, I would finish up by going to Graceland to see the home of the King, Elvis Presley. And I'd also like to go to, I think the Sun Studios are in Memphis, and I think you can hold the microphone that Elvis sang into to do Hound Dog and Heartbreak Hotel. So that's my entry to Randy's competition. And once again, congratulations on passing that 200 subscribers milestone. I think in Scotland or in Aberdeen, we've got a reputation within Scotland to be being careful with our money. I think we maybe thought that if you had to subscribe to a YouTube channel, it might involve parting with money. But I quickly realized that wasn't the case. So I hope you've enjoyed this trip, or let's go on a trip, let's travel. And yeah, once the pandemic's over, we'll be able to do more traveling and enjoying seeing places around the world and places where we can pick up some more vinyl. I was lucky enough to visit Real Groovy Records in Auckland in New Zealand just before the pandemic and picked up the Who's Missing album and also the 12x5 by the Rolling Stones. That's it from me for tonight. Bye.